Hello, everybody. This year is in honor of my mother, Miss Kawan Aaron, my grandfather, Kawan Aaron Pen Yisrael, my step-grandmother, Janet Bas Avram. So everybody knows that, it's obviously a big mitzvah to read the Parsha each week, dealing with Rashi. What exactly that means is what we're going to talk about today. The Gemara in Brachos, Daf Ches Amud Aleph, the Gemara says, or Rav Huna says, a person must always complete the Parshas with the Sibor. Shtei Mikra, read it twice, Echad Targum, with one translation. Even it states, even in psukim that have places such as Taras and Divon, which are two places, which don't have a real translation. Nevertheless, you're obligated to read the Targum, which is the Aramaic or whatever language you're familiar with, and the Hebrew 2 times. Rashi comments on this and says that if there's no translation, it's in fact better to read the Hebrew 3 times. Tosfos, however, says that if you have a choice between reading it in Hebrew 3 times and reading a Targum is preferable. The Mishnah Berurah then goes on to say that it's appropriate to read the text twice and its Targum once, seemingly going according to Tosfos. Then the Truas Hadeshen brings up very obvious nafkamina. If one has to read the Parsha each week, what about weeks with extra Parshas? We're about to have the 4 Parshas, like Shkalim and Para. What about those Parshas? Does one have to read those Parshas in addition to the regular weekly Parshas? He brings 2 main Achronim who will really build the whole structure of this Machlokas. Rabbeinu Simcha says that the main mitzvah of Shtei Mikra Targum is not necessarily reading with the tzibor, but it's that every person should finish the Torah himself. And the fact that the Chachamim say do it with the tzibor is just kind of like a schedule to keep us on track. And therefore, stemming from that if there's any extra parshos, you either will have done those parshos or will do them in the future. So you would not be obligated to read them. Rabbeinu Chanan, however, says that the main mitzvah is tzibor is not just some stam advice thing. It's actually a mitzvah. You have to do it with tzibor. Anything that tzibor does, you have to do it with them that week. So even if you had done the parshas already, the fact that the tzibor is reading more parshas is that you would have to do it with them. It says a few nafkaminas, such as when do we start saying Shtei Mikra from? Shulchan Aruch says from Sunday. And the Shulchan Aruch says from Sunday. This and Shulchan Aruch and Chol both say from Sunday. This would seem to go like Rabbeinu Simcha, who says that it doesn't particularly matter when you start by, as long as you finish with everyone else. However, the Mordechai says after Mincha on Shabbos, which seems to go like for Rabbi Hanana, who says that when the tzibor starts a new parsha, i.e. Shabbos Mincha, you do too. So that means you have to start with them. It also applies to Tashlumin. What if you miss a week? Oftentimes, especially in this Mishnah parshas are long, it's very hard, and you might not get it that week. So what's the rule of making it up? If you're Rabbeinu Simcha, no problem. Just make it up on Shmini Atzeres. Everyone else is going to finish that anyways, but it doesn't matter what you do. But if you're Rabbeinu Hananel, no, you have to do it each week. And if you miss that week, too bad, you missed the opportunity. Just go on to the next one. What about when to finish that mikra? When do you have to do it by? Mishnah Berurah says you have to do it before you go to shul, before you eat. That would be it with the tzibur kind of mindset. But I like Rabbeinu Hananel. Rabbeinu Simcha again says anytime. It doesn't really matter when exactly you finish, as long as it's with the tzibur eventually on Shmini Atzeres, which is a long time. So that week doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter so much. Another strategy people often use to take advantage of Shtei Mikra is to lane along with the Baal Koreh. Is this something permissible? Is this something we're allowed to do? The Gra and the Shlah say no. Say no because if you're laning with the Baal Koreh, you're not actively going to be listening. This goes like Rabbeinu Simcha, who says that learning is the ikar. That you're supposed to do Shtei Mikra v'Echad Targum with the translation, and reading along. If you do it yourself, you're going to understand it a lot more than if you read along with the tzibor. Then you're going to miss an element. However, the Mishnah Berurah says yes. That's the practice people do today. It's like Rabbeinu Hananel. The Baal Koreh, the tzibor is reading along. So why shouldn't you be able to read along? And that's the main focus of the argument. Whether it's read the whole Torah, that's the main mitzvah, or it's with the tzibor, and what that means. All right. Always read the Parsha each week and internalize the lessons that are within it.